Hey, fellow SAP enthusiasts, welcome to AdvisorElite. Now, your go-to channel for demystifying all things SAP. Now, today we are about to unravel the enigma that is repetitive manufacturing within SAP. Now, we have got an exciting lineup of questions straight from our users in the field, and we are diving in headfirst to uncover the answers to these questions. Now, truth to be told, I'm unable to disclose any user-specific information due to ethical considerations, but I can provide you with the questions themselves, and here they are. So the first question is how and what are the methods used for recording production in the system as documented within the system guidelines. Now, a thing or two to tell about our user, they are using the repetitive manufacturing as the manufacturing process. So the first question means that they need the basic understanding of how this process works and what they are getting into. So let's start with the basics. So let's try to counter all questions at once. So starting from the basics, what is repetitive manufacturing? Now, dear listeners, when implementing an SAP ERP system, one of the very first decisions a manufacturing company makes is which production type to implement to reflect the complexity or simplicity of the production process. Now, there are three types of manufacturing processes. Firstly, discrete manufacturing is all about making things like machinery or equipment. In the discrete scenario, the manufacturing is driven by production orders and they're using the transaction code CO01, and each product is produced based on individual orders, and the process is well suited for making unique or custom items. Now, secondly, for process manufacturing, it's often used in pharmaceuticals, food and beverages, or drug productions. In the PPPS scenario, we call this PPPS scenario, the manufacturing relies on process orders, and this manufacturer relies on production orders, and they are using the T code CO01. And the PPPS scenario, process manufacturing, they are using the process orders, and they're using the T code COR1. Now, this method is typically used in process industries and focuses on production items through specific step-by-step processes. Now, when it comes to repetitive manufacturing, things works a bit differently. Now, instead of making products based on separate orders, we produce them continuously on production lines. Now, rather than waiting for specific orders, we follow a planned order to make a certain number of items regularly. And instead of confirming each order separately, we use something called black flushing. Now, this means that the confirmation, production, and the GR processing, good receipt, will all occur solely through the planned order. So, in this case, as per the client's request, we won't start a production or a process order. Instead, we will go with the repetitive manufacturing method using SAP's planned order feature. Now, I won't cover the setup or configurations needed for this process in this video. Now, that will be in a separate video, which I will link the link in the description or at the end of the video later. Right now, let's dive into what the client needs help with. So, let's get straight into it. So, Mr. Wonka wants to know how production gets recorded in the system for repetitive manufacturing following the system guidelines. So, since we are going with the back flushing concept, let's start with creating a PIR, or we call a planned independent requirement.
So I have created a small scenario to give you a demonstration on this. So for this specific video, I've set up a material called REMFG, represent the finished good. And under REMFG, I have added two raw material codes name as REM raw 1 and REM red. So first up, in step 1, let's start by checking the stock status in MD0 for stock requirement list. Now currently, there is only two pieces available. Now moving forward, I will create a planned independent requirement. Let's go to MD61. Define the planning horizon. Press enter. And after that, I will set the requirement for different quantities spanning over maybe 5 months using MD61. 10 for December, 15 for January, 20 for Feb, and 25 and 30 for April. Guys, these are just hypothetical values and time frames. The genuine scenario is completely different, and planning is done in larger quantities. Now, once I save this, we can quickly check MD04 to see if those planned independent requirements pop up. Just a simple refresh should do the trick. Um, Taking a look at MD04, we spot the active planned independent requirement with an initial stock of 2 and the reduction of 10 pieces from the first PIR, we have 8 remaining. So the system shows a total final requirement of 98 pieces by April because we created 5 PIRs for 5 months ending in April. So the final requirement shows as 98 pieces. So let's proceed with an MRP run. Let's run the transaction code MD01 and yeah, after executing the MRP run, if you refresh MD04, you will notice the system has generated planned orders linked to their respective PIRs. Now, these planned orders have a RS suffix. You can clearly see this RS as the suffix. Now, this indicates the run schedule order type. Okay. Now, in repetitive manufacturing, planned orders with the run schedule order type are unique as it can't be converted into a production order. So, normally, in other manufacturing processes, what happens is if you go to MD04 and if there are any planned orders, you can see an additional option within the order to convert it into a production order. But in this case, as the need of a production order is null, we can proceed with the processing the planned orders directly. So what happens is the quantity will be reduced once you confirm it. You see the black flashing. Okay. The procurement type here is shown as E, and it's extracted from the master data fed into the system. And I will explain how to set up the PE planned order type using the T code OPU5 in a future video. And I will share the link so you can explore it more. Mm, with this planned order set for the PIRs, our next step is executing them. Now, unlike discrete manufacturing where we can convert planned orders into production orders or process orders, if we have set our planned order type as run schedule, we don't get those options. So we begin our operations directly using these planned orders. Now, alright, time to put these planned orders into action. Now, since these are run schedule orders, as I told you, we don't convert them. Instead, we go straight to execution. For instance, let's confirm the first planned order. Copy planned order number and head to the black flush using the T code MFBF. Now, in repetitive manufacturing, this process is not called confirmation but black flush. So, yeah, so just type the T code into the command bar to get the screen. Or else, if you really want to give yourself a hard time, you can locate it in the tree view. Okay, so go to the SAP menu and under this, there's the logistics. Under logistics, there's the production and yeah, repetitive manufacturing, data entry, and then there is the repetitive manufacturing confirmation. Well, why bother with the tree view when MFB is a one-click miracle for our goal, right? So, okay, coming back to our main topic. As you can see, this is the MFBF screen where the magic happens, and MFBF is where you confirm the planned orders that you have created. Now, in the transaction, find the input field for the planned order under the selection data and enter its number, and the system then extracts the data from the planned order and in this example for a make to stock we focus on the emptiest tab. Now looking at the confirmation quantity of 8, you will notice the system has automatically taken the quantity mentioned in the planned order. So when you check MD04 again, you will notice why we confirm 8 pieces in MFBF. Why the system has picked it automatically the value. So it's because the planned order that we created was for that quantity. Now the calculation was based on having 2 in stock, okay, and needing 10 for December, leaving 8 as the requirement. Hence, the planned order reflects this requirement set at 8 pieces. Now that's essentially how this process works. So looking at the second example, a planned order for 15 pieces is generated for the month of January, and this occurs because the previous month's planned order fulfilled the requirement, resulted in a new requirement of 15 for January, and consequently, a planned order is created specially against this new 15 pieces requirement. So going back to the MFBF record, Now we can modify the confirmation quantities as needed, allowing for partial confirmations as well. For example, if the client wants to confirm only 4 pieces during a specific shift instead of the original 8, we can adjust the quantities accordingly. And here under the confirmation type, we have different backflash options represented as radio buttons. There are assembly backflash, component backflash, and activity backflash. Now, as I mentioned earlier, in repetitive manufacturing, the confirmation process is called backflash. Now, it's a bit confusing. Let me explain it like this. Let's take an example of a manufacturing some sort of a vehicle, maybe like a car. Now, to create the finished car, we need components like tires and an engine. And with backflushing, we can issue these tires and an engine at the moment of confirming the production of the finished good. So this method is particularly beneficial in high volume industries as it eliminates the need for separate issuance of goods. So explaining these confirmation types simply, goods receipt is called assembly backflash. Component issue is called component backflash, and activity usage is called activity backflash. Now, in activity confirmation, only activity backflash occurs, like no goods received or issues. So this is specific to the MTS scenario normally, and it's for recording extra usage of activities like machine labor or setup hours against produced goods as per the routing. So you can also note any activity scrap right on the same screen. And in component backflash, you will see goods being taken out during confirmation and not goods coming in or any activity updates. So this is for the make to stock scenario, and you can note any extra components used against the produced goods from the standard BOM and record component scrap on the same screen. Sometimes if backflash doesn't work, you might need to manually issue components, but this option is not used so much. And then there is the assembly backflash. Now in assembly backflash, both goods issue and the good receipt occurs during the confirmation. And this setting is commonly used in repetitive manufacturing. And a material document will be created showing the two entries for good receipt and good issue in the same document, and it's available for both make to order and make to stock scenarios, and this is the most used backflash method in the repetitive manufacturing industry. So as seen here, we can go with assembly backflash, and as we have filled all the data we need, we can choose the post with correction button on the head options, and you can see this displays the entire list of components included in the bill of material. And if you navigate to the location selection screen, either by hitting more options or simply tapping the F4 key, you will see where the chosen component is stored and how much is available in each location. So if the system doesn't pick it for you, you can grab it manually. So going back to the initial screen, you will find a details button here. So clicking on it allows you to view the assigned RAM profile details, including movement types. So for good issue, you will notice the standard 261 movement type here, and while for receipts, there's the 131 movement type among others. So, and one more thing I want to highlight, guys, as consultants, it's crucial to understand that the configurations in the REM profile takes precedence over those in the MFBF. So if the goods issue is set in the REM profile, it will occur regardless of the setting in MFBF. So now we can save. Now it displays the goods receipt and goods issue with the document number, confirming that the activities are posted. Now when we enter the quantity in the field based on the configurations in the REM profile, automatic good issue, or in other words black version of components and goods receipt of the finished product happens simultaneously during confirmation, and this document number we received serves as the proof of this confirmation. So now let's return to MD04. Now, what we are anticipating is an increase in the inventory quantity of the material displayed here. So let's refresh the screen. We did a partial product for 4 pieces out of 8. So the total should change from 2 to 6. So notice how the planned order is no longer visible. Now see that available stock is now 6 and the planned order has been reduced.
Similarly, you can do a full confirmation as well. So if I would need to look into the documents of this planned order, I can copy the planned order number, go to MFBF and paste it to see the remaining quantity to be confirmed. So here I have copied and pasted the partially confirmed planned order, and as you can see, it displays the remaining quantity yet to be confirmed in the order. Uh, and as I said before, you can view the confirmation document directly through MFBF. So just click on the documents tab and then enter the posting date, select the checkbox and make to stock and execute. So here we can see the documents we have posted in this day, and to view the details of a particular document, double click on the document number, or else you can view through the Migo screen as well. So here you can see the materials actions with its respective movement type. The first material is the GR good with the movement type 131 that has been posted while goods received, and the rest with the movement type 261 is for the components. Then there is this order number. Now this is a CO order which gets created automatically against the planned order movements during repetitive manufacturing. So if we go into details of this CO order, we can see the settlement rules maintained here as well. Okay, so the thing we need to understand about this entire process of MFBF is that when you confirm the receipt of the finished parts, the system automatically handles several tasks based on the repetitive manufacturing profile settings which we will discuss more comprehensively in a different video. So it manages things like issuing components used through backflushing, and reducing planned orders and capacity needs, and recording production cost, of course, and creating data entry documents and updating statistics in the logistic information system and such. So in MFBF, there are additional choices like posting scrap for components or assemblies, and doing collective entries for various materials together, and archiving confirmation documents, and utilizing post processing and reversal options, which we will cover in shortly.
That's quite a comprehensive overview of the process, wasn't it? If you have any specific questions or need more details, feel free to leave a comment. So, moving on to the second question. The second question is, once the production record is completed, how are production related materials recorded in the system? Now, this means that my dear client Mr. Wonka needs to understand how materials behave after the backflushing process using MFBF. So there are two transaction codes that help us to view overall stock movements beside the confirmation document. One is MB51 and the other is MMBE. Now MB51 shows the current stock situation, considering requirements like the required quantity and the available quantity, and it also indicates the document number where stock is assigned, pending for VGI. The great thing is you can run this report for multiple materials and also filter reports using the boomer type as well. However, when it comes to MMBE, MMBE displays stock across various storage locations, detailing aspects like unrestricted, blocked returns, and quality inspection stock for the plant and storage locations. Now, particularly like this transaction for its data presentation. However, it has a small drawback because it only allows one material to be processed at a time. So let me do a demonstration for both reports. Begin with the MB51. Just enter the T code MB51 in the command bar. And in the initial screen, let's input the material and the plant. And consider filtering by document posting date, especially for large data sets. It's a great filtering option. You can also filter by movement type, which can be very helpful. And before executing the report, choose between viewing it in a flat or a hierarchical list. So let's select for the flat list and proceed. So we are now on the MB51 report. So if you need a detailed summary, click on a line item and select choose details with a magnifying glass icon. Yeah. So alternatively, click on the material document number to track the goods flow. Now I will demonstrate how this final quantity changes so shortly. And let's also open the MMB report for a comparison. So jumping into MMB, just enter the transaction code MMB in the command bar again, and let's input the material and power plant details. You can even filter using the storage location if needed. So after execution, we will get an overview, almost like a graphical representation, showing the total quantity spread across various storage locations. Now, in a discrete manufacturing setup, this could also be categorized into batches. So now let's proceed with the confirmation. Now let's proceed with the confirmation. Open a new screen and access MFBF transaction. So we can manually do a small confirmation for, let's say, 10 pieces. Yeah, for 10 goods. Okay, enter the details. Then great. Now save. So now let's check our backend stock reports. First up, MMBE. So we go to the screen and we can hit refresh. So hit refresh to update the values, and voila. You will notice the stock values have increased here. So if there is a reversal, this value may also revert. So let's explore MB51 now. Unfortunately, there's no refresh button here. We will have to go back and re-enter to view the updated report. Look for the document number in the report. It will guide you to view material behaviors with additional details. Also, under the document info tab, you can find details like the creator, creation date, and even the transaction code used. So there are several other options available in these reports, but I won't cover them in this video. So now let's move on to question number 3. So next, my client who gave me this wonderful chance to answer these queries is eager to know the specific movement types associated with the materials recorded in relation to production recording. Hmm. So, as we have discussed earlier, for goods issue and reversal of issue, the standard movement types are 261 and 262. However, for goods received, it's typically 101 and 102 for reversal, right? No. Actually, in this case, we will use the movement type 131 for goods received instead of 101 and 132 for reversal. Similarly, for scrap posting and reversal, we will use 551 and 552 movement types. And for byproduct posting and reversal, movement types we used are 531 and 532. So these movement types are dictated by the repetitive manufacturing profile, and when creating the REM profile, we can manage and maintain these movement types accordingly. So I hope everything I have explained so far has been clear for you. If it is, please drop a comment below, my dear industry experts. So now on to the last question from Mr. Wonka. Now he's curious about document reversals. So this was a significant concern from him as some of his team members reversed orders without proper approval, and now there is a confusion about tracking these reversals. So it's turned into a classic whodunit scenario. So where mistakes have been made and no one is taking responsibility. So let's dive into these questions together, Fox. There are two types of reversals. One is document specific reversal, where the system only allows us to reverse the complete quantity and activities recorded in the backflash document. And then there is the document neutral reversal, which we can use to partly reverse a backflash document. Now, reversing is there in case something goes wrong during posting, so you can fix it by undoing the backflash. And when you reverse it, the entire backflashing document gets marked as reversed. So this means things like the goods receipt of the finished product and the goods issue gets reversed too. Also, if there might be a change in the plan, it could trigger a planning run for just one item, and this run creates a planned order using the settings in the repetitive manufacturing profile. Just a thing that you should know. Well, I have got a couple of ways to reverse a specific backflash document. One way is using the T code MF41, or you can also access it, or also access the same transaction through the MFBF transaction as well. It's there as an add-in option. Now, when you are in MFBF, I will go to the MFBF screen, and you can see there's a document specific reversal. Just hop into this, and as you can see, this is the MF41 transaction. So to learn how to reverse the document, so once you are in the initial screen, you will see a bunch of options to filter out the specific document you want to reverse. Now if you want to, if you know the material document number, just select the material document radio button and enter it. Otherwise, you have got the other options like filtering by the creator name, material, plant, then the specific version that you have used, the posting date, and so on. So after you have made your selection, just hit the execute button and you are good to go. Alright, now we are on the MF41 reporting screen. To reverse a document, all you gotta do is select the document you want to reverse and hit the reverse button given in the toolbar. That means this button. So once you do that, the backflash gets reversed and the items go back to where they belong in their respective storage locations, and you will see a system message pop up saying material movement with document and activity posting reversed. That means the documents reversed. So now if you want to check out the reverser document, head over to MB51 document log report and choose the movement type as 132 or 262 as they are reversal movement types and hit execute. So you will see all the reversal documents there. Click on the document number to view it, and you will find the material that was in 131 movement type reverse back using 132 movement type here, and the component material that used 261 movement types were sent back to their storage locations and the movement type 262. And hey, if you are curious about who's responsible for this reversal, just hop over to the doc info tab. There you will see the user who made the reversal and even the T code they used. And so that's pretty much the drill for the document specific reversal. But here's the kicker. Now, when you are doing a document specific reversal, you can't change the quantity at that moment. Now, what happens is, even in a document reversal, a new material document pops up with the material type 132 and 262. So the funny thing is, the end result is pretty much the same as the document neutral reversal. Okay, the whole idea behind document specific reversal is to flip everything back just as it was initially posted, so there's no room to change any data. Okay, so if you want to reverse just part of the quantity, your only bet is to go for a document neutral reversal. So that's the only way to reverse a partial quantity rather than reversing everything in one go. So let's say we have a situation where GR posted for 15 items, but you only want to reverse 10 out of the 15 items. Now, if you use if MF41 to reverse it, it's an all or nothing deal. So the whole quantity gets reversed, which doesn't match our need. So the only way out is the document neutral reversal. So here's how it goes. When you are at the initial screen for backflushing, select document neutral reversal, then the system then automatically switches the movement type to reversal movement type. You can double check this switch by hitting the details button. So if the goods received movement type changes to 132 and the goods issue changes to 262, you are good to proceed. So save it and voila, you have successfully reversed only the 10 items that you wanted, and the activities are posted. So that covers the fourth and final question about document reversal. Yeah, there you have it, a glimpse into the world of repetitive manufacturing in SAP production planning. Now, as Mr. Wonka requested, we have covered together almost all the topics he needed answers for. So if you receive this, it means he does too, and I'm off the hook, guys. So I will stop here for today. I don't want you, my fellow listeners, to have a panic attack over information overload. So that's why I have decided to break this video into two parts, and we will discuss the configuration settings and the master data settings in detail in a later video. So stay tuned as we unravel more SAP secrets and answer your burning questions. This is AdvisorElite signing off for now. Until next time, keep those SAP dreams alive.